Hi everyone, greetings. It's spring and it's gorgeous. We're going to take a break. We'll come back in a minute. I just wanted you to get ready for another great adventure. Well, this is something that we've not done. We haven't taken the time to show everyone the site that we're on. You see us dig, you see the excitement and all those things, but we wanted you to see actually the river valley and how this particular site was formed. And right now you're seeing a remnant of how the river used to oxbow, and it's out of this oxbow that the prehistoric people moving downstream would have pulled out and pulled over onto this site. Again, the site is about 1 acre. It's pure sand. It's sand that came off the 1,000-foot ridge right behind us, and it formed and kind of like poured out into a giant finger. A little spring on one side of it, a small stream on the other side of it, so the prehistoric people had good drinking water. We're going to take another little break, and then we'll get squared away and we'll start in. Okay, now I'm smiling because the signal was when the camera made this little ding, we're starting, except the woodpeckers are so loud this morning, I can't hear anything. This is actually the very beginnings of our spring digs, and we're field archaeology 101, so we wanted to try to get back out into the field, even though it's a little bit early to bring you here, but that's okay. Yesterday we were right on this little spot. We're going to remove this spot today. It's just kind of a little thumb, a carryover from last year, and we want to finish it off. Up to this point, I've been squaring up my vertical walls, getting ready, looking for any features that might be in these vertical walls, which we have going around. But the piece that we just opened up yesterday did have some stuff, and we'll show you a few things that came out of there, and then probably we'll break for a while and see if we're getting anything else today before we wrap it up. So stay with us, hang in there. Yesterday we had a lot of what we call chips. Sometimes people call it debitage. Well, debitage also includes artifacts, but chips for the most point are just chips. There's no retouch or anything like that. So if you come on down and take a look right here, this is what came out of here yesterday, and in particular, or of interest, were the shards of pottery. There's some little shards, and this one is a little bit thicker here, and it thins out as we get near the top of the bowl. This piece, I washed them off so you could see them, is a little bit thicker, leaning toward Adena, and they were just bigger, thicker, more bulky pots in general down here. I'm not convinced that this was part of a storage vessel, though it might have been. And when we look at that sandwich side or cross section of the pottery, we want to see how they mix, or what they mixed their clay to hold the whole thing together. Used a lot of sand, a lot of grain here. And then we have what we call a rim shard, and this would have been at the top of the bowl or the lip, and if you can see this, a little bit rounded. There's a little bit of a pretty grain of sand showing right there, a little bit rounded, or the lip of a rim shard. And then just different flakes, pieces of flint. In Ohio we have our Flint Ridge that's beautiful. Normally on this site it's either going to be related to Hopewell or Adena, and then the other stuff is very, very indicative of the flint that we have here in Coshocton County. So we're going to head back, work on this a little bit, and then when we get this finished out, we'll come back and we'll close it up for you for today. So see you in a minute, okay? Well, this is the little finger area right here that we're trying to remove. It was left over from last year, and we were finding chips of flint, we were finding rim shards, little bits of pottery, enough to know that there should be a remnant fire pit. Well, now you can see it. So at this point we call it a feature, and it's really obvious right now where the core of the fire pit was, right here. But if you look at the coloration of the soil, you can see the extent of the fire pit right here, with this being absolutely the core. Now I see bone that has just literally been dissolved from being in the ground however long it's been. Charcoal remnants, and then I see it right over here. This looks like it could be a chip, or I don't know what it is. It's big,
Let's get them out, take a look. I'll clean them off, see what we got. We have a big piece of flint, a big leftover that ended up in the fire pit for whatever reason. But this is what we're going to do. We're going to clean it off. We'll get to the bottom of this pit, get our sifting done, and then we'll come back and show you the results of today. So, we're going to be jumping around because we want to just show you fragments of opening up these fire pits. We stopped in the middle of sifting a couple buckets because we have a few things we'd like to show you. First of all, the FCRs, or fire cracked rock. These are from yesterday. This is the cortex, or the outer surface of the fire cracked rock. If I flip him, you can see the irregular breakage, and that happens from heat. Oftentimes they're oxidized. If I wash these, you would see a kind of a darker orange color to this. But these are all the same thing. These are rocks, cortex, shattered from the heat. More, outer portion of the rock, shattered from the heat. FCRs, these are so important. When you're walking fields looking for artifacts, when you find your FCRs, you're near a fire pit, and those are going to be activity centers. It's either going to be a hearth or a bake oven. And if it's a hearth, settle down, have fun, and turn everything over. In here, there is some sandstone FCRs, and these are granite FCRs, hard stone, softer stone FCRs. Now let's take a look at what we've got so far. Now I'm messing around and I covered up what I wanted to show you. Come out, wherever you are. Well, let's start with this little blade right here. All these things you want to carefully pull them out, take a look at them. Already I can see an irregular edge, kind of like serrations right there to give it a better cutting surface like that. More than likely, and the cone of percussion is right there, so this is a very nearly complete blade with a little bit broken off prehistoric breakage right there. Good piece. And then in here, here it is. When you first look at this stuff, it all looks the same, but as your eyes begin to see through it, you can see things that are things. Here you can actually see the cord marks on the pottery. This is the outer portion of the pot. Flip them over. The inner portion of the pot, very thin. More than likely, it's going to be Hopewell or late woodland. I'm thinking probably Hopewell, because we had some Flint Ridge bladelets and broken blades here, but they can be very little and they can be very difficult to see. And this is where you talk to your brain and make your brain work for you. So when I'm working here, I'm saying pottery, pot shards, where are you? And my brain will key in on those. Also, here's another blade. If you look at him, he stands out right away. Thin, narrow, long. I'm going to get him out of here. Take a look at him, see if I have the cone of percussion. I do not, but there's enough of a hump right here to indicate that the cone of percussion was up on this end. And I'm interested in this area and this area, and we'll wash them and look them over. I see a lot of thinning flakes on here. This is no doubt a blade, no doubt a blade. So we're going to break again, and we'll come back to you shortly. Did any of you ever get excited the night before Christmas when you were 4 years old? You know, that's kind of the way it is. You know, the treasures are there. Maybe you don't find them today. Maybe you don't find them this week. But in this case, we were sifting and we put the brakes on. Some of these, we didn't know what we had until we uncovered. So come on in and let's take a quick peek. For example, this piece right here, I'm like, whoa, that looks like a drill. Well, we washed them up. Well, I didn't wash them. We used our fingers and cleaned it, and it is. It's the remnant of a drill. That's pretty neat. Look at this. A little hafted scraper right here with a Hopewell base, which is cool because we're dealing with a lot of Flint Ridge flint here. So a hafted scraper, Hopewell. Look at this one. Look at this. Oh my, this is so much fun because you go for long periods and you don't find anything, and then all of a sudden, boom, there it is. This is an archaic piece actually, and it significantly predates the Hopewell, and this looks like could be possibly what we call a fish spear. They're not fish spears, but it resembles it in many ways, but it's just been sharpened down to nothing, which at some point they got rid of it. But in here, the bucket before this, I'm like, okay, well, this has a little bit of red. Let me look at it. It weighs a ton. And I looked at it, and here it's been smoothed and polished. And we're looking at a piece of hematite. And a lot of times they had this hematite, and they would just grind it and get their red ochre. Either way, this is a fire-broke piece right here. All this. Oh, I love life. It's full of surprises. And thanks for hanging in there, you guys. Well, we wore ourselves out for the day. We didn't get to the bottom of this little peninsula, but we certainly are getting closer to the bottom of this fire pit. And it's conical. We're getting close to the apex or the bottom of the fire pit. You see a little bit of charcoal right here. A little bit of charcoal here. This is a larger chunk of charcoal that came out while we were sifting. Let's slip up this way a little bit and show you some of today's material that we sifted out. We'll start over here. What a fun day. We have little broken points, and one of the reasons they're little is because they were used up and they couldn't use them anymore. Pitched them in the pit. So we've got a little tiny guy missing his base, a Hopewell hafted scraper. This is an interesting blade. We've got the cone of percussion right here. Go to the polar opposite, and I can see pressure retouch all along this edge. Then we have a flake, a Flint Ridge flint, which in this area is typical when you get on a Hopewell site. You start finding a lot of Flint Ridge flint. Larger flake, a hunk, literally, that came out of it. There's a sign that they may have used this at one point as a little tiny scraping tool. Slate. This has been highly polished right here, even up over the edge, but then the rest of it is just simply destroyed and gone. A broken gorget pendant, who knows? We don't know. Coming back over here again, another archaic point. Brewerton, who knows? Looks like it might have been a fish spear at one point. Part of a drill. Here's the hematite. That is, you can just see it's been heated like crazy. It's got planes where they were. Here's a final stage preform with a lot of patina on the bottom side. And looking at this, I see patina right here. So this is a prehistoric break and not our break. Final stage preform. And a couple more little blades. Come on over here to some of the pottery. This is a few of the pieces of pottery that came out of the fire pit as well. We have a larger piece. Typically these are near the bottom of the pot, and they get thinner as they go toward the top. So we have different sizes. And then we had the one right here, which is the lip at the top of the pot right here. I hope you can see that okay. And then just more pieces of the pottery. Now there's a lot more, but they're very tiny, so we didn't bother to get those out and show you. But all in a day's work. This is a salvage dig, so we're not doing it a centimeter at a time, and we are so glad that you visit us today in the earliest of spring days. Started out close to late 30 degrees, 35, and it's already up near 60. So springtime in Ohio. Want to see you real soon. Bye.